Huh? Wait a second. I thought we were talking about Toby. Well, now we're back to Thomas and his branch line, of which we see him bringing a set of trucks to the quarry at the end of his line. Because this particular stretch of rails ran fairly close to the open road, Thomas was cautious to warn people he was around. This is blatantly an error, but Thomas is just gliding here. His wheels aren't even moving at first. That looks pretty silly. Coming around a bend, Thomas sees a policeman nearby. Wanting to be cheery, Thomas whistles at the officer. But instead of receiving a welcoming of the same kind, Thomas got the exact opposite.
Disgraceful, he spluttered. I didn't sleep a wink last night. It was so quiet, and now engines come whistling suddenly behind me. I'm sorry, sir, said Thomas. I only said good morning.
But even being courteous in response to the remark, the cop continued to harass Thomas. Maybe it's because the film crew still hasn't fixed that eye alignment yet. God, it's just slightly off-center. But no, he wanted to know where Thomas's cow catchers and side plates were. But Thomas knew he didn't think he needed them. This only made the cop crosser and decided to pen Thomas down as a criminal. Whoa, this guy is one grumpy cop. You really have to wake up on the wrong side of the bed in order to write a ticket for a train, and not even the driver and fireman who operate him.
You haven't, so you are dangerous. Rubbish, said Thomas's driver. We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident. That makes it worse, the policeman answered.
Worse! Ringo's narration right here is hilarious. He has such a great way of telling these stories. And with that, Thomas rolled away, feeling like he was just sent for scrap. Meanwhile, Top Hat was about to have a snackage when he was interrupted by his butler. The message was for him and about Thomas.
Bother that telephone, said the fat controller. I'm sorry, my dear, he said to his wife. Thomas is in trouble with the police, and I must go at once.
Bother that telephone? More like the telephone is bothering you, Sir Hat. Also, that little chipmunk chat he had on the phone was pretty comical. And why does it look like in that shot he has a mustache? The character model for the episode, I guess. When he arrived at Elsbridge Station, Top Hat got the scoop on the whole issue. But no matter how much he tried to persuade the cop, the answer was, the law is the law. Not wanting to beat a dead horse, Top Hat finally gave in and considered changing Thomas's design. However, if it weren't for his previous vacation, Top Hat would have fully forgotten about Toby, the tram who already had cow catchers and side plates. Ah, so that's why he was hired to the Sodor Railway.
A few days later, Toby arrived. That's a good engine, said the fat controller.
Toby was very pleased to have new work, and so was his coach Henrietta. Initially, Toby's controller was planning on making her into a henhouse, but Toby managed to take her away in time before that could happen. Uh-oh. Sounds like Toby's got some contraband on him now. Top Hat will just disregard that, though. And with that, Toby took over that part of Thomas's line, and found his new home at Sodor's quarry. Thomas at first was jealous, but became thankful for how much stress Toby had taken away from him.
But he was so pleased when Toby rang his bell and frightened the policeman, they've been firm friends ever since.
After all, if Toby never came, Thomas would have had a whole new look now, wouldn't he? Thomas the Tram Engine. Yeah, that doesn't work. This episode was good from a storytelling sense. At first, it might throw off some viewers if they don't see where it could lead to. But with the officer throwing a hissy fit over Thomas not having cow catchers and side plates, I think that's a dead giveaway of how it will connect to Toby. Everything happens for a reason, and having that angry cop enter Thomas's day was a big lifesaver for him and Toby. As for scenery and music, it's pretty standard this time round again. Some things I'll point out, though, are the fact that we see Top Hat has a butler. He hasn't shown up until now. I also like how the figurines used for Thomas's driver and fireman look dirty, as if they've been shoveling coal and handling other soot-covered tools. Because if they were polished and shiny looking, it wouldn't look as realistic. This is also the first time we've seen a cop anywhere on the island, although I'd like to know where law enforcement was when those children decided to break all the coach's windows on Henry's train. The bend where Thomas meets the cop is also a new shot as far as I know. It kind of looks like the one where Thomas first met Terrence, but it isn't the same location. Additionally, we are given a verbal hint of the quarry that will come soon, but right now we'll just have to use our imaginations. No new musical cues here, but no worries. There's still plenty more to come, and whatever's played here fits the scene anyway. Next episode is Dirty Objects. Thanks for watching.